Well, if you want to debut a movie, this is how you do it, right? You ring the opening bell on the New York Stock Exchange. That's the First Lady, Melania Trump, doing the honors in Lower Manhattan. Nice to see. I tell you, the branding for this film is amazing. Because it's just consistent and it's classy and it works.
Like her.
Right on. So Guy Benson, Fox News political analyst, host of the Guy Benson Radio Show on Fox Radio. So the big debut nationwide is Friday. There's a few premieres here and there. And here is a woman who's been in the thick of it for the second time around now.
I'm excited to watch. I think she's a somewhat enigmatic figure. And I think there's a lot of curiosity to learn more about the First Lady. And I know other people have made variations of this point before, but it's just such a symptom of our media environment and our Hollywood environment that this is the first time something like this has been made about her. The fact that she has not graced every cover of every magazine, the way that they lavish that sort of thing on Democratic First Ladies.
And she's the most beautiful.
She's stunning. She's an immigrant. She speaks all these languages, and they're like, pass. And it's purely because of politics, but I think this movie will do well because a lot of people want to go see it and learn more about this woman. We all know what she looks like. We know bits and pieces about her. There's not really a lot behind the scenes until now.
Well, here she was talking about her involvement in President Trump's day-to-day life. Watch here.
How involved are you in the president's day-to-day?
I give him my advice and I tell him what I think. Sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't, but I am here to support him. I think it's very important to have an open communication.
I think their commitment to each other and their partnership in this way has been one that is a good role model for people that, you know, you have a marriage and you are a public person, but you're not going to talk about it with everyone, but you're going to be, rest assured, we are in communication.
He lets it slip sometimes when she really feels strongly about something. When he's asked a question about it or it comes up in conversation, he'll just throw in that Melania has said something about it. And you know probably behind the scenes the lobbying is happening, but she never leaks that and makes it public in a way that would undermine him, which I think is one of the reasons why she's an asset in that administration, setting aside all the family stuff.
Watching that interview with Ainsley yesterday, she's talking about the letter she wrote to Putin. Now think about that now. She's from Slovenia, all right? It's a former Eastern Bloc territory, okay? And she grew up with the USSR, you know, breathing down her back and the back of her family and all of her relatives. And she has the strength to say, I can communicate with this guy and help unify children. I thought that was quite remarkable.
And it's such an evil thing that the Russians did, and it obviously is so personal to her, and she felt, I've got the platform. She uses these opportunities sparingly. She's not out there all the time on everything. So when she does make not just a gesture, something serious like that, I think people pay more attention, which drew more spotlight on that grave injustice.
Yeah. Got about a minute. Let's go to Iowa from yesterday. It's a big deal. I mean, this really is. It's the kickoff to the midterm election, right? Here he is, President Trump.
If we lose the midterms, you'll lose so many of the things that we're talking about, so many of the assets that we're talking about, so many of the tax cuts that we're talking about, and it would lead to very bad things. We've just got to win the midterm. That means Senate, and it means House. Got to win them.
In Iowa, you could have some very competitive House races. I like what he said to Will Cain yesterday. When Will brought up the history, you know, only twice in history in the modern era has a president in power held the House. And he said, you know, I said, why? Why? He said, does it have to be that way? And I think that's the way he approaches a lot of things. We'll see whether or not this campaign is successful.
Yeah, twice. It's gone the other way since 1938. So the norm is that the Democrats would do well later this year. Trump was asking with Will Cain, and I was on with Will during the hour, why is that the case? Maybe people want guardrails. I think that was his little hint at an answer, which is correct. Not necessarily guardrails, but the American people actually, despite complaining about dysfunction in government, they like divided government. They like checks and balances.
All right, well, and it's America 250.
Big year.
No time like the present to talk about balances of power. Indeed. Okay, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
We're in person and everything.
Great.
Sorry about the Devils.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.